Where is the lie? Where was one single iota or syllable that she spoke inappropriate? You have likely seen the t-shirts that are worn by these MAGA trolls and morons in real life at rallies and shit. They're like, mean tweets 2024, or do you miss the mean tweets? And they revel in, they celebrate the fact that Donald Trump is a not nice man, a bomb thrower, a name caller. They love it. They love it. But when that level of vitriol is turned against him, there's a collective display of outrage and attack that takes place. This is untoward. Oh, harumph. We can't have this. And there's a total meltdown happening right now based on something that Jasmine Crockett said over the weekend in Arizona at a Move On. I think it was co-branded with the Midas Touch organization. And she called Donald Trump on stage into a microphone what he is. She said, yeah, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit, but these are the things we need to accomplish. There are other things we need to focus on, not exclusively, not to not pay attention to Donald Trump, but in addition to Donald Trump, she was talking about the court in this case, we need to focus on. She's absolutely right. On both counts, Donald Trump is a piece of shit, a garbage human, a racist, a white supremacist, a credibly accused abuser of women and children. It is what it is. Let's exist in reality here, folks. And conservatives lost it. Here is Jasmine Crockett dropping facts, dropping knowledge about who and what Donald Trump is. And then I'm going to read from the New Republic some responses from prominent online Republicans.
We need to have some real guardrails around this Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes. He is. But in a functioning democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is they are the highest court in the land, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves, so it's time for us to do it for them.
Where is the lie? Where is one aspect of what she said that was incorrect? Where was one single iota or syllable that she spoke inappropriate? Donald Trump is a democracy-destroying autocrat wannabe. He's a piece of shit. He has fundamentally encouraged the worst elements in the lizard brains of MAGA-world, encouraged and incited and promoted violence in politics in America, oversaw an insurrection against the country, an attempted overthrow of the United States government in a bid to stay in power after he lost the 2020 election. Is that not a piece of shit? It seems like I'm describing a piece of shit, right? This is the headline from the New Republic. MAGA flips out after Jasmine Crockett calls Trump a piece of shit. The right is losing their minds over a word the president has used to attack people too many times to count. Crockett's characterization of Trump has been widely shared on X, they mean Twitter, incensing right-wing users who have in turn attacked her demeanor, appearance, and outfit. Parenthetically, they say Crockett was wearing, brace yourselves, ripped jeans. Many, of course, also stoop to gutter racism, and they name names. Look, I've long said, I'll continue to say, Twitter's not real life, but it is to some people. It is to these types, these people who make their living off of tweeting outrageous things. Conservative commentator Kyle Becker said Crockett, quote, has absolutely lost her mind. The website, Conservative Brief, wrote that she is unhinged and showing clear signs of Trump derangement syndrome that prevents her from wearing decent clothes. Very classy, wrote an America First user. This is what's so interesting about this is any time that you focus on Donald Trump, certainly during the campaign when he wasn't president again yet, but even now I get it. You're just obsessed with Trump. He's the president. And before, he's the former president. It's not obsession. It's sounding the alarm bell about a clear and present danger to our republic, to our democracy, to our form of government, to our culture, to our society, to our civilization, to Earth in general. Someone who denies climate change as a Chinese hoax, someone who hasn't read a book since maybe junior high school, and even then, maybe not, is in charge of 1/3 of the United States government. I would say it rises to the level of talking about it a little bit, no? Another prominent MAGA account called Crockett and, quote, attention whore, and apparently attempted to get Twitter's chatbot Grok to make a lewd joke about how she, quote, may have gotten knee holes on her black jeans. When Grok failed to produce the user's clearly desired joke about fellatio, the account requested that it, quote, be more creative and remove the woke crap. Because apparently it's woke to not make jokes about women getting to their positions by oral sex. The same thing they've done about Kamala Harris. Pro-Trump commentator David Freeman, known on Twitter by the alias Gunther Eagleman. David Freeman, Gunther Eagleman, called the Congresswoman ghetto trash. Tell me she is not ghetto, wrote another popular right-wing account. It's all a bit rich. We're back to the writer of the article from the New Republic. It's all a bit rich coming from a crowd who will defend to the last breath a president who's done more than any individual to make political language more unhinged and coarse. It is, really, and it's been said, this is not some unique idea, that Trump derangement syndrome might be a thing, but it's certainly not afflicting liberals or Democrats or progressives. It inflicts the minds of these addled Trump supporters who can't see past Donald Trump's actions and view things with a reality lens. They must support the dear leader. They must cement their station in the cult. There's a hierarchy, you see? And the more clout you get from owning the libs, the more you're respected in the movement. The more shitty you are, the more respected you are. Bizarro world. Anyway, what do you think? Did you watch this moment? I would appreciate your thoughts. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054, or you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button below. For $2 a month, become a channel member right on YouTube. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Moreover, though, the most important aspect of support is to make sure you're subscribed, liking, commenting, sharing this content with your social network. I would appreciate it very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Don't be a piece of shit. And take care of one another.